Salvador Dali is one of the greatest artists of all time. His very unique paintings and sculptures created a new form of imagination throughout the world. Salvador Dali's eccentric nature, creativity, and self-promotion made him the most famous member of the Surrealist movement. On May 11, 1904, in Figueres, Spain, Salvador Dali was born to Salvador Dali Cusi and Felipe Dominic Ferris. Dali was an intelligent but very quirky child. His mother encouraged this, while his father punished Dali for his strange behavior. This caused tension and separation between the two of them. Dali spent time in the village of Cadaqués, where his family had a summer home and his parents built him his own art studio. Here he painted one of his earliest works called Landscape. In 1916, Dali attended his first drawing school in Figueres. Then, in 1919, he had his first public exhibition at the Municipal Theater. Dali made many trips to Paris, where he met painters such as Picasso, who influenced many of his works. Dali studied many great artists at the School of Fine Arts in Madrid. He once said, "Only after you have perfected the technique of the masters can you develop your own style." Dali's first solo exhibition was in 1925 in Barcelona, where he exhibited The Basket of Bread. This event gained Dali international attention. Salvador Dali may be best known for his images of melting clocks. The Persistence of Memory is his most famous work, that he painted in 1931. This image portrays the ideas that time is not rigid and everything is destructible. In 1934, his political views led him to be expelled from the Surrealist ranks, but this did not stop him. Soon after, in 1936, he made two of the most well-known objects of the Surrealist movement, his lobster telephone and the Mae West lip sofa. Dali did much more than just paint. He could write, he made movies, and he performed a lot. He wrote and published an autobiography called The Secret Life of Dali in 1942. Salvador Dali's major contribution to the Surrealist movement was what he called the paranoiac critical method, which was how Dali explained how he turned his dreams and subconscious thoughts into reality in his paintings. This became Dali's way of life. Salvador Dali spent much of his time from 1960 to 1974 creating the Dali Theater Museum. This museum was a representation of his life. Even as Salvador Dali aged, he continued to discover new art ideas, and he still painted unordinary pieces. His final masterwork, called Gala Contemplating the Mediterranean Sea, is an optical illusion. From 20 meters away, it becomes a portrait of Abraham Lincoln. This is now one of his most famous works. Dali slowly painted less and less. In 1982, he painted his last painting, The Swallow's Tail. This piece showed his fascination of ideas about immortality and the fourth dimension. Dali was confined to a wheelchair after a fire in his Pubal castle. He then was moved back to the Teatro Museo in Figueres, where he eventually passed away from heart failure on January 23, 1989. Even after death, Dali's name did not fade away. His art continued to be exhibited all over. His great talent and creativity has become an inspiration to many to be fearless and relentless about self-expression. Salvador Dali is recognized as one of the greatest surrealists that ever lived.